Have you ever wanted to own a supercar from your childhood? As a kid, thinking about your dream car was a great way to pass time. Today, those dreams can become a reality. Supercars used to be unattainable, but now, owning one can become your new reality. Cars back in the 90s looked unique and were all about the sound the engine could make. Your heart would sing the tunes of cars. So, without further ado, let's jump right into the video and check out these affordable 90s cars. The Porsche 911 933 is an iconic supercar that everyone dreamed of one day owning. The car came with a 3.6L, 3.8L air-cooled, naturally aspirated twin-turbocharged engine. Did you know that this car was the first 911 to receive a 6-speed transmission? Oversteering was an issue with the cars back in the day, but Porsche decided to give the 933 a rear-wheel arching system that gave the car better stability. Owning this car is a great choice because it's a classic and has a lot of power behind the wheel. Let's not forget about how gorgeous the car looks. Experts believe buying this car now is a great investment. The cost is still low enough so that you can afford it, and yet it is turning into a classic car. Buying a 996 or a 997 will be a bit cheaper, but the 933 is one of the first, so the history in itself is worth the extra dollars. The Lotus Elise was designed by Julian Thompson himself. He was the head of designs at Lotus. It was produced in 1996 and was a legendary car back in the day. This bad boy can go 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 5.8 seconds. One of the key factors for this car is that it's light, which made it easy to handle, and it's lighter on petrol. As car enthusiasts, we at Hotcars believe that the Elise is one of the best handling road cars of all time. And many people agree with this. The brash color schemes allow this car to stand out more. The car sometimes gets more attention than the more expensive supercars on the road. Fun fact, the Lotus Elise was assembled from kits between 1997 and 2003. This is pretty cool because it shows that every car was given a personal touch, and you were able to choose which kit you wanted. You could make the car your own, which is why it was such a success. Next, we have a Nissan 390 GT1. This car is a bit more on the expensive side, but we cannot have a supercar video without this Nissan making an appearance. There's only one road car that was ever produced, and it's currently stored at Nismo Zama warehouse, along with the number 32 R390 GT1 race car from 1998. Under the hood, you have a V8 engine that is paired with a 6-speed sequential manual transmission. You better believe that this car is fast and looks like a Nissan that has not aged a day. This car is a collection item, and it's made its rounds through various car shows over the years. In 1998, the R390 GT1 was represented by a total of 4 entries in the Le Mans race,
while Dane John Nielsen headed the 4-car Nissan squad.
All the Nissans made the top 10, and the iconic number 32 ranked 3rd overall. This shows just how powerful this car can be, as it demolished the competition. If you get a chance, you should go check it out. You might remember your dad talking to his friends about the first American-built aluminum-intensive vehicle that looks like a race car, but is roadworthy? Well, that car was none other than the Pan-Nose AIV Roadster. This beast has a Ford V8 5L engine and is paired with a 5-speed Borg-Warner T5 manual transmission. If you're a person who loves speed, owning one of these supercars is a must because it has a top speed of 140 miles per hour and can pump out 300 foot-pounds of torque. To come anywhere close to the experience of driving one of these demons, you would have to buy something like a Honda-powered Ariel Atom. Only 176 of these cars were made. The engine was quick and the body was light, which means that you can feel the power and speed that drives you behind the wheel. You turn the key, the engine roars, and your heart skips a beat. It's iconic and has a unique look to it. It's a supercar that will add value to your collection, as well as make you smile whenever you walk past it. As a kid, owning a Maserati did not seem possible. But now, you can own the one and only Maserati Ghibli. This is a 2-door, 4-seater coupe, which means it's an ideal supercar to take on the road with the family. This car packs a punch, as it has twin turbocharged V6 engines. The Ghibli was not only built for performance, but it was also built with comfort in mind. This is a great driver's car because it handles superbly well. The style of the car is stuck in the 1980s, but with that being said, when you get in the car, you feel like you're driving your grandfather's car that has a bit more horses behind it. The interior featured Connolly leather upholstery as well as burr elm trim. Heads will turn because they get to see the gorgeous car in action as well as see as how luxurious the inside of the car is. If there was ever a cool-looking supercar to own, the Consigliere GTP 1993 is the one you want. It looks like a racing car, which means when you drive it down the street, everyone will stop and watch the car fly past. This car was made in two series. Series 1 was powered by a Chrysler 2.2L4 Turbo 2 engine, which could produce 175 horsepower. The second series was given an engine upgrade so it can produce 190 horsepower. The second series had a top speed of 155 miles per hour. Fast enough to give you an adrenaline rush, but slow enough to make people jealous. This car is ideal for people who love the idea of owning a supercar that's been successfully used in professional racing. The look of the car is unique, from the way the trunk opens to the small window next to the passengers that do not open. Another unique feature of the car was that the chassis was made up of a fiberglass and foam monocoque mix. It was the first carbon fiber and Kevlar body vehicle to ever go into production that did not have structural metal in the body. Owning one of these is like owning a piece of car history. How can you even talk about supercars from the 90s without mentioning the one and only Ferrari 360 that was made in 1999? The first 360 models produced was the Modena. The car was named after the town of Modena, the birthplace of Enzo Ferrari. This car remained in production from 1999 to 2005 and was then replaced by the iconic F430.
More than you can afford, pal. Ferrari.
This car is a little out of the price range, so we recommend a classic 360 for someone on a budget. To make this Ferrari even more surprisingly awesome, you had two choices when it came to your transmission: a classic 6-speed manual, or you can go for the more exciting option, which is an electro-hydraulic actuated F1 automated manual transmission. Driving the F1 transmission felt like you were driving in your very own Formula One car. Ferrari's Formula One driver Charles Leclerc better watch out. We're coming for him in this powerhouse of a classic Ferrari. We have another Maserati Ghibli to show you today. This is the Cup version that came out in 1997. The car was launched at the Bologna Motor Show in December 1995. It's a legendary car to own because at the time, it was the most powerful 2-liter production car in the world. To make this car even more amazing, only 60 of these were produced. Amazingly, you can find one of these cars today that is affordable. This car is a classic, and you can buy one for as little as $75,000. The car has a top speed of 168 miles per hour. This is possible because of the V6 engine that is rated at 330 horsepower. Who knew owning a piece of history was this affordable? Bentley's known for being expensive cars that show off luxury and passion. Well, there are a few Bentleys that you can buy that are affordable, and the Brooklyns is one of them. This car is valued at between $15,000 and $35,000. It was introduced back in 1992 and is a cheaper alternative to the Turbo R. At face value, the cars look the same, but underneath, the Brooklyns doesn't have the turbocharged engine. If you want a Bentley and do not mind giving up the turbo, this is a great car to cruise around in. It's easy to drive, handles well, and looks stylish like a Bentley should. The car is spacious and was built to comfortably fit 4 adults. It's an ideal car for people who want the luxurious touches that Bentley offers, as well as the small details, such as the space in the cabin and the big trunk space, make this car uniquely special. Last but not least, number 1 on our list is the Bentley Turbo R. It was produced between 1985 and 1997. Once again, Bentley has made it possible for you to own a piece of luxury for as little as $15,000. You can get more expensive versions, which will cost you around $40,000. Fun fact, did you know that the R stands for road holding? As the name suggests, the car handles well and feels like the tires hug the road. Going around corners in this car is a breeze. It comes with a powerful 6.75-liter turbocharged engine. Some models have sports-tuned suspension and stiffer chassis, which makes you feel like you're driving a car that was designed for the tracks and not only the road. Buying this car is a great idea if you're the type of person who wants a nice car to take a Sunday drive with. It's not a car that you can drive every day, as the petrol will cost you a lot of money in the end. But driving around in a classic Bentley, is there anything better? And there you have it, 10 supercars of the 90s that are affordable. Did you know that the Lamborghini Miura was produced from 1966 to 1973? It's often said that this was the first ever supercar that was produced. It had a V12 engine and is now worth between $1 million to $3 million.